Sweet. All right, everybody. Welcome to From Philly to Cali. It's been a while. Set this up. Got a nice little setup going on. As you can see, I'm drinking a little bit of Knob Creek whiskey, a little bit of Lagunitas IPA. All right, so I'm sure all of you are a little curious as to what's been going on in my personal life. And I mean, if none of you follow me on Instagram, From Philly to Cali is one of my Instagram names. And then David Michael Knutsen's another one. So, okay, I recently, out of spontaneity, decided to purchase a plane ticket out here to California. Because I figured, you know what, better late than never. I don't even know if I said that right. But I just put my notice in. As you all know, I live in San Francisco currently, but I'm going to make the transition out here into Beverly Hills, and I'm going to go ahead and pursue the ultimate American dream of entertainment. Do I have any acting ability? We'll find out. No lie, I went to Chris Hemsworth's agent. Did not schedule an appointment. Apparently, you need to get referred in there. But I did show up, and I let them know. I don't know what the full process of looking for auditions is, but if you guys are interested, I'm out here to do some acting. And they said that's not how it works. So I ended up giving them one of my cards, this one to be in particular, and probably not the best card to give them. I wrote my information down, and I'm using from phillytocali.com as my portfolio. I'm eventually going to have my full name. I'll get some headshots taken because I have facial hair now, you know what I mean? So it's a work in progress. Now, with that said, I went to the Comedy Store the other night, and I've just been networking, you know what I mean? So far, just to keep all of you posted, I've been at this hotel, which is a great hotel. It's called the Beverly Merlot, and it is in Beverly Hills. And the guy that runs it, he's an amazing person. He's created this facility to help many people that are in need get them jobs and a place to sleep. And I literally just left his room just now. He showed me a video, and he is he's got one of the biggest hearts I've ever experienced one-on-one. He's out here to help other people. He's not here to to my knowledge, this is a nonprofit organization. And really like him. He's an amazing person. Now, with that said, I've been going to the Comedy Store last night. I saw Joe Rogan, Mark Maron, and Dane Cook. And then who's the other guy? Pull out my phone. I posted it. And I'll be honest, everybody did amazing. The last time I actually saw Dane Cook live, Brian Posehn. I love that guy. He's so innocent. But I saw Dane Cook at Madison Square Garden in 2008 and for his Rough Around the Edges tour. And yeah, he was amazing then, and he's amazing now. I really, really, really dug Mark Maron. That guy is funny. But yeah, I went to the Comedy Store in the main room. They got a couple of rooms there at the Comedy Store. And the main room, I saw Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was hilarious, per usual. And yeah, I had a really good time. Now, if you guys ever go to the Comedy Store, 2-drink minimum. And typically their drinks on average, if you're going to do a double of anything, you're going to be shelling out $24 for a double. So let's say you get a Jack and a Coke. A double Jack and Coke is going to run you $24. Now, with that said, I got the house wine bottle for $30. You know what I mean? So I'm chilling there, eating my chicken tenders, pouring myself some wine, and listening to some of the comics up there. And there was actually another comic that I actually really liked. I just started following him today on Instagram. I forget his name, but he was funny too. So I went to the Comedy Store a couple nights ago. I went probably about 2 nights ago, and I ran into my old pal Don Barris. Don is the closer for the Comedy Store. He closes every night, and he is the audience warm up for Jimmy Kimmel Live. I've been following Don's projects for about 9 years now, and if none of you all know me well enough, you would all know that Windy City Heat is my number one favorite movie. Who's in that movie? Well, I mean, there's a lot of celebrity cameos. You have Don Barris, of course, Perry Caravello, but you also have Dane Cook is in the movie. Bobcat Goldthwait directs the whole movie, and Carson Daly's in the movie. Who else is in it? Adam Carolla is actually in the movie too. And yeah, a lot of my favorite people. If you all have not seen Windy City Heat, I highly recommend it. It's available on YouTube for free. And one of my favorite podcasts is the Big Three Podcast. So I run into Don at the Comedy Store. Prior to running in Don, I was sitting in the back. I'll be honest, I showed up with my beater, you know what I mean? Like I'm wearing a tank top. That's just how I dress, you know what I mean? I'm pretty casual. If I'm going to go to a wedding, of course, I'm going to dress to the nine, out of respect. But, for the most part, I'm pretty laid back. So there's a comic on stage, and I forget the guy's name, but he is sharp, you know what I mean? Like, he's a funny dude. And, of course, he's going to call me out. He's like, guy in the beater in the back, what are you doing sitting in the back? I'm like, you want me to sit up front? And then he ends up inviting me on stage, so I went on stage and I did my first little stand-up bit with him on stage, and he was completely cool about it. So, yeah, I mean, as for stand-up, I'm just going to give myself some brownie points for doing it at the Comedy Store. The Comedy Store is responsible for not only the career of Jim Carrey, but also the career of Robin Williams. And rest in peace to Mitzi Shore. And rest in peace to Stephen Brody Stevens. He recently just passed. I have a lot of respect for many of the people that are running their projects there now, and I have a lot of respect for Don Barris because Don Barris has been working at the Comedy Store since 1988. With that said, I mean, he's been in ties with Jimmy Kimmel for many years now. Apparently, from what I know, I don't know what Don Barris used to do, but Don used to be working ties with him when Jimmy Kimmel was doing The Man Show back in the 90s. And if none of you know what The Man Show is, I mean, you can probably look up clips online. But, yeah, Don Barris is funny to me because he has got one of the best senses of humor. Not a lot of people understand for whatever reason, but I do. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I'll tell you the story. Don calls me on stage because he was mentioning an American Hero and a few other things that he said. And I said, are we talking about Terrifying Tim? And he wasn't. And Terrifying Tim is a recurring character within the Big Three universe. Now, I guess Don was flattered that there was someone in the audience that was referencing someone from the Big Three, a.k.a. Windy City Heat. If none of you know who the Big Three are, it consists of Perry Caramello, Walter Malinsky, and Don Barris. Now, all three of them were actually in the movie Windy City Heat. Windy City Heat is about Perry Caramello. So Perry Caramello is actually the person in the movie, and he's the main character. So basically, Perry Caramello thinks he's in a real movie, like based out of Chicago. In all actuality, and he's not aware of it, it's actually a big prank pulled on him, kind of like the Joe Schmo show. Now, this movie was released, to my knowledge, in 2003 on Comedy Central. And, after that, I mean, it was never released in theaters. So Jimmy Kimmel was also one of the people involved with the project. But, you know, there's a little bit of ties between all of them. Fast forward a couple years later, 2014, I actually ended up flying out to Los Angeles. So I moved in San Francisco in July of 2013. I drove from Philadelphia all the way up to California, hence the name From Philly to Cali. And when I did the commute, I was listening to the Big Three podcast on my road commute. Took me 5 days to get here. Along the way, I saw Mount Rushmore, which is pretty cool. And yeah, it was a nice fresh start. I was living with family on the East Coast, and, all of them love me and miss me very much. I'm actually going to be seeing them in a couple more weeks and spend some time with them. My grandmother's going to be turning 80, so I can't wait to celebrate that with her. Most likely we'll be going to the Olive Garden. Hopefully they still have unlimited breadsticks. I'm not going to lie, I love their breadsticks. But, so, anyways, I moved out here in July 2013, did a 5-day trip, and it's been pretty nice. I lived in San Francisco. This July is going to be 6 years, and now it's time for a change. So I flew out here to Los Angeles, and I put my notice in at my current place, my month notice, and I'm going to be moving out here to the Los Angeles area. I've been handing out all of my business cards like crazy, all of these. I write my contact information on the back with my number saying seeking acting auditions and, seeing if anybody wants any other guys to be in their boy band. Wish me luck with all that. Backstreet Boys, they were some OGs, but they ready for David Knudsen? Ooh. Sorry. No, I'm just saying, so yeah, I'm out here making a fool out of myself, and it's pretty fun. So I'm going to sell my car, and I've been driving my car for 13 years now. You know what I mean? Time for a change. If you guys have not tried the Lime G scooters yet, I really highly recommend it. And that's pretty much all I've been using to get around. I recently went to Best Buy today, bought myself a little Chromecast book from Best Buy because my phone does not have enough space for me to go ahead and record. And if none of you guys even knew, now you know, I've been doing all of my recording on my phone. So this is going to be good that I actually have something because my MacBook Air, for whatever reason, was not working. And, I love Apple's products, but, for the most part, it's just kind of a pain when, if you don't remember your password and you try to reset it and it doesn't want to reset, you got to take it to the store, the Genius Bar. And I'm sure that they can help me out, but my MacBook is in San Francisco right now. So, to keep you guys all posted, I hung out with Don Barris and I gave him my story, and Don Barris knows who I am. I was an extra in the movie in 2014, and in that same year, I met a couple. I'm gonna name drop. I met Bobby Lee. Bobby Lee is hilarious. He was on Mad TV. And Bobby Lee does a podcast now with his girlfriend. And, who else did I meet? Pauly Shore. Pauly Shore's mother used to run the Comedy Store, Mitzi Shore. Mitzi Shore passed a few months ago. Rest in peace to Mitzi Shore. She's one of the pioneers for a lot of what's been going on out here in Hollywood. And I'm very honored to even interact with some of these people that have been working in the industry for so long. I'll be quite frank. If I got to do a couple commercials to go ahead and start doing some movies, so be it. I need to pay my dues. I do not feel entitled. I don't feel like I'm better than anybody. I'll do whatever I have to do. And why am I doing it? Am I doing it to be famous? I'm not going to lie. There was a point in time in my life where I wanted to be on screen, on film. I wanted people to know who I am. It's a confidence. It's an ego booster. But I'll be quite frank with all of you. I think it's really important to conceive a positive message to the world if you're going to be out there broadcasting yourself to I'm not to millions of people. I'm not gonna lie to all of you. How many downloads do I have? Just a couple hundred from Philly to Cali. But you know, I'm going to have more structured topics that I talk about, and it's I'll have some guests on my show too. I don't know if she's going to be coming by now, but I might have a friend walk in on here, and she might join me on my podcast. But uh, I I tried to conceive this to everybody, but the message I'm trying to convey to the world is this: love, gratitude, empathy, and laughter. Because that's all what we need. We need all of that. I need love. I'll be honest. I'm on the prowl for something serious right now. Uh, haven't found anything yet. Does any anybody out there can hear me? I'm looking for something serious in the hallway. You can knock on my door twice if you're interested. Anyways, yeah, that's my go-to. I don't do Tinder. I scream at my door to see if anybody wants to come on in, and I'll interview them for a date. Terrible. Um, so I talked to Don Barris, and I love Don. Like, Don is probably one of my favorite people, and I only say that because I get him. People get him. I get him more. And what I mean by that is I can relate to the guy. I'm very similar to an extent. Don's been in this industry. He's been closing at the Comedy Store since 1988. And he's friends with Jimmy Kimmel. And he's the audience warm-up for Jimmy Kimmel. Don works his ass every night. Every night. He closes at the Comedy Store every night. And he never misses a night. I'm not trying to kiss the guy's ass. Calling a spade a spade. So he invited me to. I was originally supposed to leave Los Angeles to San Francisco this Sunday. I told Don a little bit about my story, and he invited me to do the Ding Dong Show, which is at the Comedy Store on every Monday. And that's one of the shows that is broadcast to whoever shows up every single Monday at the world's famous Comedy Store. Joe Rogan, Chris D'Elia, Brian Callen, Brendan Schaub, all these home run hitters, Bert Kreischer, you know what I mean? A lot of current and relevant people now are doing performances there, and I'm kind of trying to work my way into it. I mean, am I funny? Who knows? I'm more of a character. People more so laugh at me than with me. You know what I mean? So I tell Don my story, and he invites me to do the Ding Dong Show. And I'll be honest, Don, I'm honored, my friend. Hey, man, that's one of my favorite, I'm speechless. Truthfully, you know what I mean? Like, I've been watching Windy City Heat since 2010, and he wants me to do the Ding Dong Show. And if none of you know what the Ding Dong Show is, I'll tell you. Don has a group of people that are talented in their own unique way. You know I have a little bit of talent going for me. I do a little bit of weightlifting, powerlifting, and one of my favorite movies is Dumb and Dumber. You know, what was all that 1 in a million talk? You know what I mean? And that's what I kind of want to say to Don. Actually, I don't even know what I meant by that. But, oh man, I don't even know. Yeah. So anyways, that is a great line though. And of course, you all know that my favorite line's big gulps, eh? Well, see you later. Yeah, so, I'm going to be doing the Ding Dong Show, and then apparently Don might even have me, he said he wants me to do his podcast on Tuesday. Simply Don, the Podcast Network. I've been listening to that since 2010 or 2012, whenever he first started it. he's got two networks, the Big Three podcast, which is him, Walter Malinsky, and Perry Caramello. And then he's got another podcast network called Simply Don the Podcast Network, which he interviews a few people. Perry Caramello was on, I think he was on Tim and Eric, but you got Schizophrenic Surfer, someone Tuxedo. I don't want to mess his name up, but the Tuxedo dude was apparently, don't mind me guys, I'm going to pour a little bit of Knob Creek into this beer just to give it some flavor. Now, I'll be quite frank with all of you. I got a sweet tooth. Have any of you ever tried rum cake? Because I'm going off topic a little bit, but rum cake is probably one of my favorite sweets. Chocolate's probably my number one. Oh my gosh, how good is the new Avengers trailer? I do not want to give any spoilers, but I don't know. What if Galactus is in it? AKA what Ryan referred to as the Drill Man. Which, hey man, his name's Galactus. Yeah, so Don wants me to do his podcast on Tuesday. I would love to. So I figure I'd talk about it now. Don called me today. I'm honored. And I answered, and I'll be honest, I was like, it was some dude on the phone. He was like, is this David? I was like, yeah. He's like, hey, it's Don Barris. I'm like, huh? Cool, man. So we started talking, and I think I heard something going on his end. I'm just kidding. No, he was talking to me, and yeah, he just said, I guess there's going to be a documentary going on with all of this. Now, just to do a little rewind for all of you, I came out to Los Angeles, West Hollywood back in 2014, August of 2014. I moved out to California in July of 2013 to San Francisco, the Bay Area. To be quite frank and more exact, I moved to Walnut Creek, California in July of 2013. I have been listening to the Big Three podcast since 2010 or 2011. Originally, it was on Ace Broadcast, which is Adam Carolla's network. And then they eventually transitioned to Don had his own. Now I got my own. You know what I mean? Because that's how I roll. Took me a while. Had to get laid off a little bit. I had to take a couple of punches here and there. But, I did what I had to do. Sorry, you guys are going to see me in my basketball shorts. But, you know what I mean? I did it. I got my podcast. You get to see me hydrate. And I might even do my own podcast called The David Knutson Effect. No, that wouldn't be good. I don't know. I'll figure it out. DK. So, anyways, I flew out to Los Angeles in August of 2014, which, if you do the math, that would be exactly 1 year and 1 month after living in California, specifically, to be exact, Walnut Creek, which is a part of the Bay Area of San Francisco. Walnut Creek is about 30 miles from the east of San Francisco, and it's beautiful out there. I went out to Walnut Creek, and I got a story for you. I was in line for Chick-fil-A, which I'm not going to lie, I like me some waffle fries. Who doesn't? And the car in front of me, oddly enough, he got his car from the same dealer that I got my car from. What are the odds of that? It gets a little more weird. My cousin has family in Hungary, out in Budapest, which I was planning on making a trip out there to see my best bud Zoltan, but we'll see what happens. Zoltan's an Olympic gold medalist, by the way, guys. Name dropping. I like to call him my cousin, but he's like a good friend of mine. So, my passport's going to expire next month, so 2 more months. But my cousin went to Hungary. Small world. He saw a car out there, okay? He's from Pennsylvania, okay? I'm from the suburbs of Philadelphia. Now, he saw a car in a parking lot in Budapest, Hungary, where the dude apparently got his car from the same dealer. Coincidence. Now, anyways, it's just strange. You know what I mean? So I'll go ahead and I'll just stop aligning the planets as if something crazy is going to happen. But I don't know. Life is interesting. You know what I mean? It's a very interesting thing. Now, moving on, I flew out to West Hollywood because the big three were doing a project to where they were going to do a sequel to Windy City Heat. So they had many of the fans. And if you guys don't know, there's a fan club on Facebook called the Big Three Fan Club. And I've been a part of it for a couple of years now. Probably, I don't know, 6 years to be exact. Susie Hilf is in charge of it, which Susie, got a lot of respect for you, girl. I met Susie back in August of 2014. So I was in a scene. It was at a gay bar in West Hollywood. And it was a wedding scene for Perry Caramello. Now, when I was in it, it was fun. I got to meet Earl Skakel. Earl Skakel was in Benchwarmers with David Spade. A lot of people out here that are in different movies. You know what I mean? And it's so cool. I saw David Alan Grier last night. And if you don't know who David Alan Grier is, he was in the movie Blank Man. Blank Man's one of my favorite. It's with, I forget the name of the Wayans brother that was in it, but the same one that did Professor Payne? Or, I don't know. I messed that name up. I mess things up. Ryan usually calls me out on it, but he's not here right now. He's taking a hiatus. David Alan Grier, when I saw him, I said, dude, Blank Man. Of course, because I'm an idiot. He's like, yeah. And then he just bounces out, but I got to shake his hand. And I'm going to sneeze. Really sorry about that. Yeah, so anyways, and then I'm talking to Skylar Stone. What? Skylar Stone from Waiting with Dane Cook and Ryan Reynolds? Yeah, I kissed his feet. And I'm not ashamed of it. I did it in front of 4 beautiful women. And then we started talking about Dane Cook. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and name drop just because Dane Cook's one of my heroes. My sister, Ashley, introduced me to him in 2002. Dane Cook liked my post yesterday. Sorry. Yeah, so anyways, I did not get to talk to Dane Cook, but I feel like that's right around the corner, hopefully further down the road, if the time ever comes. So yeah, I'm going to give stand-up a shot, acting a shot. But moving on to August of 2014, I flew out here and I was in a wedding scene. I was actually staying at the Andes Hotel next to the Comedy Store, which is like, I don't know, $300 a night. And they put me at the top floor, and which was like 14 floors. The place I'm staying at now is very affordable, and it's wonderful. The staff here are seriously, they're amazing. This is called the Beverly Merlot. I already mentioned it. But when I first got here, the guy at the front gave me 2 slices of pizza. What place do you know will hook you up with food when you get there? I don't know. But these guys did. Now, and I got to meet a lot of new friends. And I got to hand them out my butt cards. So when I flew out here in 2014, we were in West Hollywood filming a scene, and it was a wedding scene between Perry Caramello and John Quincy Adams. If you follow Windy City Heat or the Big Three podcast, you would understand. But anyways, I was in the scene, and I was really happy that I participated because I'm a huge fan of these guys' work. Now, Walter Malinsky works for Jimmy Kimmel, and Don Barris does as well. You know, a lot of these guys are involved with other projects like Mad Magazine, Will Sasso is one of my favorites. Mad TV. Gosh, I love that guy. But yeah, I was in the scene. I never saw the extra movie. Apparently, the people that were in it were Mike Judge, and Mike Judge is the creator of Idiocracy, Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill, and a few other projects. Andy Dick was in it. Um, when I was here in August of 2014, I got a picture with Pauly Shore, Bobby Lee, who else? Breckin Meyer from Road Trip. Remember him? And he was in Clueless with Alicia Silverstone. Which, Stacey Dash, you guys see her? She's looking pretty good. I don't know what her political views are. I know people got indifferences about her, but whew. Anyways, moving forward, Alicia Silverstone was one of my first crushes as a kid. Still is. She's so cute. And yeah, I never actually got to see the movie that I was in. It was never released. So now, I don't know what Don has up his sleeve, but I know it's probably going to be good. And I'm here. So I got to make the best of it. You know what I mean? And yeah, guys, I'm going to be moving out to Beverly Hills. It's going to be an interesting transition. I usually just pick up and go. My roommates are going to miss me, but to new beginnings. You know what I mean? So far, I like it. Like I said, I'm going to sell my car and I'm going to be scootering around. And I'll be honest, I actually prefer to scooter over driving. There are a couple people out here that it was funny. I was out, I don't know which part of, I think West Hollywood, but some of them got like signs that says no scooters. If you guys have not done the electric scooter, you're missing out. It's so much fun. But yeah. So making moves. You know what I mean? Taking names and making some moves. And moving forward with the From Philly to Cali, I'm gonna have more topics. I've just had so much on my plate right now. You know what I mean? Like a lot. This has been a very, what's the word for the year? I mean, it's just been one thing after another. You know what I mean? And is what it is. You got to make the best of it. All of us go through shit. I went through some shit with family and friends and myself, and it is what it is. But sometimes you just got to roll with it because that's life. You know what I mean? You're gonna have your ups. You're gonna have your downs. You got to be aware of it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was at the Comedy Store the other night, and I went to Mel's Diner to get some food because I'm always eating. I'm not gonna lie. I've probably put on about 10 to 15 pounds within a month, which is good for me because I'm stronger in the gym, which I need to go to the gym. But yeah, I'll be doing Don Barris's Ding Dong Show on Monday, podcast on Tuesday, and I will keep all of you posted with how the move goes from San Francisco to Los Angeles, the LA area. This is the environment I need to be in if I want to pursue entertainment, and I'm not doing it for fame or notoriety. Maybe a little bit, but no, I'm doing it, like I said, to convey those four things: love, gratitude, empathy, and laughter. Because, I mean, we've all been in tough spots to where, we do things we have ulterior motives. And one of my goals is, can I pull off being an actor? We'll see. There's so many other people out here that have been busting their ass. And I have respect for all of them. I have not taken any acting classes. I was in choir for a couple of years in school. I enjoyed it. I like to sing. Proof is in the pudding. I'll be quite frank with all of you. What does that even mean? What the fuck does proof is in the pudding mean? Huh? I like pudding, but not that much. And what do they mean by proof is in the pudding? Is it because they have peas in the beginning of it? This is a strong debate I've had with a couple of family members and a couple of friends. And they say, Dave, why don't you just drop it? No. You know, we live in a country where First Amendment, freedom of speech. So yeah, stay tuned into Simply Don, the podcast network, if that's still on with Doing Don's podcast. I would love to talk about what's going on with the Big Three, and if I can get involved, that would be even better. I will be doing a podcast with a ufologist when I'm in Pennsylvania. We're going to be talking about Lonnie Zamora. And if none of you know what Lonnie Zamora is, it was an incident that I believe happened in New Mexico in like I said, Ryan calls me out on my stuff to let me know when I'm right or when I'm wrong, but it was in the 60s. He wouldn't know this date, though. There was a very interesting and very legitimate case where this sheriff was coming into the woods and he thought it was like a couple of teenagers. But what he saw were a group of people, very short people, go into around this little aircraft. And he was like, hey guys, he drives up to them and then the ship just takes off and they're not there. And apparently he had saw a couple of little humanoids or aliens, whatever you want to call it. But if you look it up, it's called Lonnie Zamora, and it's a very documented, one of the best documented cases, I believe, in the 60s. So I will be speaking with an actual ufologist come 2 more weeks. I'm going to be interviewing him. And I will be releasing that podcast. That will probably be podcast number 7. I believe the podcast I'm doing right now is podcast number 6. But that's if we're not including the bonus material and the bonus podcast that I've had. Which I just want to say I apologize for not being consistent with coming out with a podcast every Friday. Like I said, been kind of dealing with a couple of family issues and whatnot. Don't worry, it's all being resolved. It is what it is. And yeah, I'm not going to lie. Life is a beach. I'm just playing in the sand. Thank you, Lil Wayne. You the man. So, yeah, I'm going to make sure I'm more consistent with releasing my podcast every Friday. And I really appreciate all of your support. I'm going to have more like segments within this podcast so that it's more enjoyable and just so you don't have to hear me go on crazy tangents. But I'm sure coming from your end, maybe all of you might be interested in what's going on in my personal life, and I'm fine enough to share it. I have nothing to hide. Yeah, the people out here, they're really nice. They're very interesting. They dress how they want. I fit out here perfectly because I'm not going to lie, I dress like a clown. And I'm not saying everybody out here is a clown. I might get jumped for saying that. Will I get jumped for saying that? Not twice if it's a yes. All right. So, no, I probably won't. Now, moving forward, the people out here are cool. They're different. They're unique. It's Hollywood, more like Hollyweird. Yeah, I'm moving out here. Yep. I can't wait. It's going to be interesting. As all of you know, like I've lived all over the world. I've lived in Germany on and off for 10 years. Lived in Pennsylvania multiple times. Missouri. Texas. I was born in Arizona. New Hampshire. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, we'll see if I can become the next Brad Pitt. Nah, Robert Redford. I love Robert Redford. I love Brad Pitt. I actually like them both. To be quite frank, I'm looking forward to Hollywood Stories movie that's coming out with Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. And I think it's a Quentin Tarantino film. I still want to do that movie. Jesus Christ and Lucifer. Can I get Christopher Nolan to direct it? Guess I got to finish the screenwrite or the screenplay. Like I said, in a perfect world, he would walk up to me and say, "Heard you write a screenplay titled Jesus Christ and Lucifer. I'm in." That's in a perfect world. That's what Christopher Nolan would say to me. Now, is it going to happen in this one? Yeah. No, I mean, no idea. And then I want Hans Zimmer to do the film score for it. It's going to be a home run hitter if I can pull that one off. But yeah, Keanu Reeves, Brad Pitt, and Leonardo DiCaprio want to work together in my film. I mean, shit. No, that's probably me overreaching, overstepping my boundaries. I'm like, hey guys, I'm from Philadelphia. Never took acting classes. You guys want to do a movie? I got $10 in my pocket. Yeah. So, if you didn't know, I'm also writing a pilot television show about a boy band, and it kind of reflects a little bit about my personal life. But I'm trying to snowball this into my own production company. From Philly to Cali is going to be under my production company, and then I'm also going to have a production company under the name, it's in transition, David Michael Media. Might even include my last name, Knutson. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, while I'm out here in California, in Los Angeles, I'm going to make the best of it. I'll give stand-up a shot. I'm going to make people cringe. That's all right. And then I'm really hoping I can do something like Dawson's Creek 2, to where I can be like, "Thought you loved me, but you loved him instead." Oh. No. You know what I mean? Because I can do that so well because I'm very sensitive. Because if the girl loves another guy and I love her and she doesn't love me, I'm going to cry. All right, guys. I really appreciate all of you listening. From Philly to Cali podcast. Terrible. Ryan, you do so much better. Now, David Michael Knutson. I don't even know why I said that. But I can't be telling people from Philly to Cali all the time if I need to promote my personal name. And people are going to be like, "Knutson, you're going to want to change that." I'm going to be like, "Nah, I'm good." David Michael Knutson is what it is. You know, it sounds just as sweet as Bradley Cooper or Bradley Pitts or Whoopsie Goldberg. You know what I mean? From Philly to Cali podcast, guys, thank you for listening. Keep you all posted. Much love. And stop.